You won't believe what is happening right now in the Betty Bayo case. And the person at the center of it all, the last woman who was there in Betty's final hours. Gospel singer Betty Bayo's death was supposed to be from leukemia, but now her own mother is calling for her body to be exhumed. Shocking new claims now question everything we were told about Betty's death. Was it really leukemia, or is there a darker truth being hidden? Pressure is mounting. Fans are demanding for CCTV footage. And Shiroa GP, Betty Bayo's closest friend, the woman who was there during her final hours, has suddenly gone silent, refusing to even answer calls. CCTV footage from Betty's house, shocking new details emerge that suggest everything we were told might have been a lie. But that is not all. Wait until you hear what allegedly happened inside that house and at the hospital, because once you hear these details, nothing will ever sound the same again. Betty Bayo's 76-year-old mother, Joyce Wairimu Mbugua, speaking from her home in the United States, dropped a bombshell that has sent shockwaves through the entire nation. And she's not just questioning the leukemia diagnosis, she's flat out rejecting it. And the questions she's raising, they are very disturbing, they are urgent, and they demand answers. But that is not all. Wait until you see what role Shiroa GP might be playing in all of this. On December 6th of 2025, nearly a month after Betty Bayo's burial, Joyce Wairimu Mbugua appeared on a live session. Voice trembling, sometimes crying and sometimes angry, Mama Betty made allegations that will shake the very foundation of everything we thought we knew about her daughter's death. A postmortem must be carried out on my daughter's body, she declared, so that we can have clarity on what exactly killed her. Mama Betty flat out rejected the cancer diagnosis. She insists that her daughter had no history of illness, no underlying conditions, no warning signs. How could someone who was perfectly healthy suddenly develop aggressive leukemia and die within weeks? According to the mother, after Betty's death, Tash allegedly refused to hand over crucial documents. Betty's death certificate, her mother's ID card, even Betty's own national identification card. But why would someone withhold these documents unless they had something to hide? The family claims that they were rushed through the burial process. They say that they were denied access to medical reports, and they insist that they never received an autopsy report despite repeated requests. Mama Betty now wants Betty's body exhumed for an independent forensic post-mortem. She wants answers and she wants justice, and she's not backing down. But wait, there is even more, and this is where Shiroa GP comes into the picture. Mary Wanjiru, Shiroa GP, was not just Betty Bayo's friend. She was her confidant, her sister in music, and the person that Betty trusted most during the darkest period of her life. Shiroa GP gave multiple interviews after Betty's death. She described Betty's symptoms in details. She explained the hospital transfers. She talked about paying the 260,000 shillings deposit at AAR Hospital when Betty couldn't be admitted without it. She recounted the heartbreaking moment when Betty Bayo's children visited their dying mother in the hospital. When they saw their mom, Shiru told reporters, tears streaming, they cried and promised they would be good children. Shiroa GP painted a vivid picture of a woman battling cancer, a woman who wanted her struggle kept private because she feared online trolls would mock her in her weakest moment, a woman who fought until her body simply couldn't fight anymore. But now, Mama Betty has revealed something shocking. Shiroa GP has been avoiding her calls. Shiroa GP knows everything that happened in that marriage, Mama Betty said softly during her live interview. I have tried reaching her many times, but she is avoiding me. And let that sink in for a moment. Betty's closest friend, the woman who witnessed her final days, the person who should have the most information, is refusing to communicate with Betty's own mother. Why? What does Shiroa GP know that she's not sharing? Was she truly just a supportive friend, helping her dying best friend, or does she know something more, something that contradicts the official cancer narrative? Think about this. Shiroa GP was present during those final crucial hours. She was at the hospital, she paid bills and she spoke to doctors. She saw everything. If Betty's death was simply due to cancer, as reported, why wouldn't Shiroa GP speak to Betty Bayo's grieving mother unless there is something she knows that she can't or won't reveal? Fans online have started connecting dots. They are asking uncomfortable questions, they are demanding transparency, and now many are calling for something even more dramatic: CCTV footage. The Kenyan public is not backing down. On social media platforms, particularly on X, formerly known as Twitter, the conversation has exploded into a full-blown investigation by netizens. The hashtags are trending, the theories are multiplying, and the demands are getting louder and more specific. We need to see CCTV footage from Betty Bayo's house. One user responded, garnering thousands of likes and shares. If she died from cancer, fine, but if something else happened, we deserve to know the truth. Others are questioning the timeline. Betty was diagnosed in mid-October. She died by early November. That is less than a month. While acute myeloid leukemia can indeed be aggressive, especially in advanced stages, the speed of Betty's decline has raised eyebrows among medical professionals and concerned citizens alike. Some fans point to Betty's social media activity. In the weeks before her diagnosis, she appeared healthy, active and posting content, engaging with followers. Where were the signs of someone battling a disease severe enough to kill her in weeks? Something doesn't add up, wrote another user. One day she's fine posting videos and weeks later, she's gone. The pressure has mounted to such a degree that on December 9th of 2025, through her lawyers Omenke Andeje and company advocates, Betty's family formally petitioned the Office of the Directorate of Public Prosecutions. The letter, marked urgent, demanded an immediate inquest into Betty Bayo's death. It cited Article 2635 and 157 of the Kenyan Constitution, which empowers the state to intervene when cause of death are unclear or potentially suspicious. The family has endured unbearable pain, the petition stated, trying to understand how a young woman with no known history of illness could die so abruptly. The lawyers didn't mince their words. The alleged possibility of foul play. They questioned the rushed burial. They highlighted the family's denial of access to medical records and autopsy reports. They demand action. But here is the million-shilling question. Will the authorities act, or will this become just another unsolved mystery in Kenya's long list of suspicious murders? But now we need to talk about the cover-up allegations. Let's talk about what might be the most disturbing aspect of this entire case: the alleged cover-up. Mama Betty Bayo and her lawyers have made it clear they believe there's been a deliberate attempt to conceal the true circumstances of Betty Bayo's death. First, the rushed burial. Betty died on November 10th. She was buried on November 20th. That is 10 days. While not extraordinarily fast, the family claims that they were pressured to proceed quickly without adequate time to process what had happened or to request independent medical verification. Second, the denial of autopsy reports. Despite the repeated requests, the family claims that they have never been given the official autopsy report. How can a family accept a cause of death when they are not allowed to see the medical documentation proving that cause? Third, withholding of medical records. The family says that they were never informed about specific treatments Betty received. They don't know what medications were administered, and they haven't seen detailed doctor's notes. They are operating in complete darkness about what actually happened in those hospitals. Fourth, the suspicious presence of Tash immediately after the death to check in on her body. Did he have advanced knowledge? Was he ensuring the body was handled in a specific way to prevent discovery of evidence? Fifth, the continued possession of crucial documentation by Tash, effectively preventing the family from conducting their own investigation or accessing Betty Bayo's assets to fund legal action. Put all these places together and you have a pattern that suggests someone or multiple someones doesn't want the truth to come out. The family's petition to the DPP is explicit. They suspect an evil hand in Betty's death. They are demanding a full inquest under constitutional provisions, and they want police involvement. They want Betty Bayo's body exhumed. They want an independent forensic post-mortem, and the family expresses their utmost disdain. The legal petition states and demands that You are hereby direct the Inspector General to urgently move with speed and institute an inquest into the circumstances surrounding the death of Betty Wairimu Mbugua. Will the DPP act? Will police launch a proper investigation? Or will these petitioning gather dust while evidence disappears and memories fade? We keep coming back to Shiroa GP, and here is the reason for that. Her silence is perhaps the most deafening aspect of this entire mystery. Think about this timeline. When Betty was alive and sick, Shiroa GP was everywhere. She was giving interviews, she was updating fans, and she was describing Betty Bayo's symptoms in detail. She was explaining hospital transfers, and she was painting a very specific picture of a woman dying from cancer. Mama Betty has been explicit. Shiroa GP knows everything that happened in that marriage. This is not just about knowing Betty was sick. This is about knowing what was happening in Betty's home, knowing about the alleged abuse, and knowing about the financial exploitation, knowing about the fear. If Shiroa GP was truly Betty's best friend, her confidant, would Betty have confided in her about abuse? Wouldn't she have shared her fears about Tash? And if she did, why did Shiroa GP give interviews that only talked about cancer, never mentioning any other concerns? Here is what we know. Shiroa GP witnessed. She was at Betty Bayo's house during the final crisis. She saw Betty's condition. She was present during hospital admission. She paid bills, suggesting that she had access to medical information. She spoke with doctors. She was there when Betty's children visited their dying mother. If anyone outside Shiroa GP immediate medical team knows the truth about what killed Betty, then Shiroa GP knows everything. So why won't she talk to Mama Betty? What is she afraid will come out if she does? And will pressure from fans and investigators finally force her to break her silence? Will we ever know the complete truth? Will Betty's body be exhumed? Will an independent post-mortem reveal the real cure of death? Will Shiroa GP finally break her silence? And will Tash face investigation and possible charges? Will Betty's children get custody arrangements that prioritize their safety? As for now, December 2025, these questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain: the pressure is mounting, the public is watching, and Mama Betty is not backing down. This is one story we will be following closely, and I encourage all of you to do the same, because justice delayed is justice denied, and Betty Bayo, the woman who blessed so many with her music, deserves justice. Let's catch up on my next video as we get to know what is happening in the celebrity drama files.